人が終わる時は死ぬ時ではない。信念をなくした時だ。
Samurai are honorable warriors who have left a deep mark on Japan's history and culture. The word samurai derives from the Japanese word saburao, which means one who serves. From the 12th to the 19th century, it was used to describe the noble soldier class in Japan. Samurai are individuals who serve their masters and are known for their warrior skills and honor. The first samurai appeared in the 10th century as guards traveling to Kyoto and protecting the emperor. Over time, as the emperor lost power, they took on roles as warriors protecting powerful landlords. The rise of the samurai class began during Japan's feudal period, which was full of civil wars. During this period, landowners began to hire samurai to ensure their security. In the 12th century, the Genpei Wars between the Minamoto and Taira families sealed the fate of the samurai class. The Minamoto family emerged victorious, and in 1192, Minamoto Yorimoto took the title of shogun. The shogun was a powerful military leader who suppressed rebellious samurai families. The Minamoto family made this title permanent and became the political leaders of Japan. During this period, the emperor's political power weakened, and the samurai class took over. Samurai families became landowners and prospered. Under the shogun, samurai played important roles not only as warriors, but also as administrators and leaders. During this period, samurai became a title rather than a profession. Samurai culture has left a deep mark on modern Japan and the world. Their values of honor, loyalty, and courage are the cornerstones of Japanese culture. This legacy has been widely reflected in Japanese literature and art. Films by directors such as Akira Kurosawa have promoted samurai culture internationally. The disciplined lifestyle of the samurai and their desire for continuous learning is also reflected in the modern education system. Education in Japan is based on strict discipline and continuous improvement. This is a reflection of the samurai understanding of education and discipline. When most people think of samurai, they think of Bushido. Bushido means way of the warrior and is generally recognized as the code of ethics that governs the lives of samurai. However, there is some debate about the historical origins of Bushido. In reality, the concept of Bushido was popularized in the 20th century. It was used as a tool to promote Japanese nationalism and militarism, and over time, the perception was created that samurai lived by these rules throughout history. In fact, throughout the history of the samurai, these rules existed more as oral traditions and personal ethics. The samurai's philosophies are basically derived from the Zen doctrine and Confucianism. The Zen doctrine plays an important role in helping samurai develop mental discipline. Meditation increases mental focus and provides inner peace. Confucianism emphasizes social order, obedience, and moral rectitude. These philosophical foundations shape the spiritual depths and ethics of samurai. Although the historical accuracy of Bushido is disputed, it serves as an important guide to understanding the samurai. The teachings of Bushido provide a framework for understanding the values and lifestyle of the samurai. Therefore, it is useful to know about Bushido in order to understand the philosophy and values of the samurai. To summarize Bushido, there are 7 values: Gi, Yu, Jin, Rei, Makoto, Meiyo, Chugi. Gi, integrity. Doing the right thing and being fair. This means that samurai have to make the right decisions and act fairly. Yu, heroic courage. Acting fearlessly to do the right thing. Courage enables samurai to fight fearlessly and to do what they know is right. Jin, mercy. To be compassionate and understanding towards others. Samurai must use their power not only to fight, but also to serve their community. Rei, respect. To be respectful and kind to everyone. Samurai showed respect even to their enemies. Makoto, honesty and sincerity. To always be honest and sincere. The word of the samurai is a reflection of their honor. Meiyo, honor. Protecting honor and keeping your reputation high. Honor is the highest value in a samurai's life. Chugi, duty and loyalty. Loyalty to one's master and society. Loyalty refers to the samurai's devotion to their masters and their families. These principles dictate how samurai should behave both on the battlefield and in their daily lives. Bushido is an important guide to understanding the values and way of life of the samurai. The values that the samurai were really guided by are collected in a book called Hagakure. This book, which means In the Shadow of the Leaves, was written by Yamamoto Tsunetomo in the 18th century. It consists of many short stories and reflections that shape the ethics and daily lives of the samurai. Tsunetomo wrote this book to share his thoughts on how the samurai class could survive in a time without war. The Hagakure contains many teachings that reflect the principles of Bushido. Here are some of these teachings. Death consciousness. Tsunetomo emphasizes that samurai must be ready to die at any moment. The way of the warrior is death means that a samurai must live with the awareness of facing death at every moment. Loyalty and honor. Loyalty to their masters and families is one of the samurai's most important values. Hagakure emphasizes that loyalty and honor are central to the samurai's life. Modesty and unpretentious living. The book advises samurai to live a modest life free from ostentation. Samurai should care more about their inner values than their outward appearance. Self-discipline and self-care. Samurai place great importance on self-discipline and self-care in their daily routine. Regularly bathing, shaving, and personal grooming every morning shows the importance that samurai attach to their appearance and their disciplined lifestyle. Respect and courtesy. Hagakure advises samurai to be respectful and kind to everyone. This applies not only to their friends, but also to their enemies. Hagakure provides important insights into how samurai could survive and preserve their values in a war-free era. The book is considered an important source for understanding the ethics and philosophy of life of the samurai. The daily life of the samurai was characterized by strict discipline and order. They would get up at 4 a.m., bathe and tidy their hair. At first light, they would eat breakfast and then focus on their duties. In the evening, he would return home and spend time with his family. Samurai performed various tasks throughout the day. These included combat training, farming, artistic work, and administration. Combat training included lessons in swordplay, archery, fighting techniques, and strategy. Samurai had to be physically strong and resilient. Samurai were not only warriors, but also interested in art and aesthetics. Their lives were based on strict discipline, constant training, and moral values. The training of samurai began at an early age and continued throughout their lives. Training began in childhood and took place under the supervision of family elders. They were first taught basic fighting techniques and the use of weapons. Samurai would master various martial arts, kenjutsu, such as swordsmanship, kyudo, archery, jujutsu, martial arts, and spearmanship, sojutsu. Kenjutsu. Swordsmanship was the samurai's most important skill on the battlefield. The sword was seen as an extension of the samurai's soul. During training, they first used wooden swords. Over time, they would train with iron blunt swords, and finally with real swords. Kyudo. Archery was another important martial art of the samurai. In battle, they used bows and arrows before swords. Then they used spears and finally katana. The reason for this is that katanas are very valuable and will break very quickly if misused. The most valuable asset of a samurai is his katana. Jujutsu. Jujutsu is a martial art involving unarmed fighting techniques. Samurai learned various holding, throwing, and locking techniques to neutralize their opponents. Samurai did not use fists because punching can damage your hand. If your sword-holding hands were injured, it could be the end of you. For samurai, honor and loyalty were central to their lives. These two values were the most important principles that defined the samurai's identity and actions. Preserving their honor was one of the greatest goals in their lives. If their master died in battle, it meant that they had failed to protect their master, and this was a source of shame for the samurai. When a samurai lost his honor or failed to show loyalty to his master, he would try to restore his reputation by committing seppuku or harakiri. This ritual was considered a last resort to save the honor of the samurai's family and himself. Samurai whose master died or who were ostracized by their master were called ronin. The term ronin means a person who is carried away by the waves. These masterless samurai, ostracized from society and unable to work at any job, would occasionally commit crimes such as theft, looting, and banditry to make ends meet. But not all ronin were ostracized from society. A ronin was a swordsman who did not work under a master. Ronin who were skilled and benefited people were respected. One of the most famous of these was Miyamoto Musashi. Although he was not under a particular master, he was respected throughout Japan for his skill with the sword. For a samurai, his most prized possession is his katana. So what makes the katana so special? Religious beliefs play a big part in this, but the scarcity of iron ore in Japan and the fact that it takes about a year to make a good katana are also very effective. The katana is a weapon only samurai are allowed to carry. It should be thought of as a giant razor blade rather than a sword. It is a dangerous weapon that cuts as soon as it touches. Wielding this weapon requires rigorous training. I'm going to talk about some of the samurai who made the best use of this weapon. Minamoto no Yoshitsune. Minamoto no Yoshitsune is one of Japan's most famous and legendary samurai. Living in the 12th century, Yoshitsune is known for his bravery and military genius during the Genpei Wars, which changed the history of Japan. His achievements are widely recorded in both historical records and legends. Yoshitsune's most distinctive characteristic was his skill with the sword. Showing exceptional precision and speed, Yoshitsune could neutralize his opponents with swift and precise movements. In his youth, he is best known for his fight with the famous warrior monk Benkei. According to legend, Benkei would wait for and challenge samurai, passing over the Gojo Bridge in Kyoto. He defeated hundreds of them and collected their swords. When he met the young Yoshitsune, he thought he could easily defeat him, but he was defeated by Yoshitsune's fast and agile fighting style. After this, Benkei became a loyal comrade and protector to Yoshitsune. During the Battle of Ichinotani, Yoshitsune's individual heroism on the battlefield was also notable. By infiltrating behind enemy lines and launching sudden attacks, he surprised his enemies and defeated many enemy warriors individually. Sadly, his life was tragically cut short by a struggle for the throne. Miyamoto Musashi. Miyamoto Musashi is one of Japan's most famous swordsmen. Living in the late 16th and early 17th centuries, Musashi won many duels and developed the double sword technique. His Go-Rin no Sho, the Book of Five Circles, is an important text on strategy and the art of war. According to Musashi, a samurai should improve his swordsmanship instead of spending his time tidying his hair. This is because samurai are more preoccupied with other things than swordsmanship. Musashi participated in about 62 duels in his lifetime and set a record by winning in all of them. The next record after Musashi is 33. Musashi's life and swordsmanship is long enough to be the subject of a separate video. Instead, let me summarize by saying this. In his duel with Sasaki Kojiro, one of the most legendary swordsmen of the period, he defeated Kojiro in one move with a wooden sword made of a ship's oar instead of a katana, and since then he has not used a sword in many of his duels, because he could not find an opponent strong enough to be worth using a sword against. The sword is only a tool. The real power lies behind the hand that holds it.